It is dark. Wow, you did something a while ago and it just lit up.
hmm I have arrived tonight, guys. Anyway, hi everyone, welcome to another
Conversation with Lee.
live. We are tonight. Welcome again to all our new subscribers. Happy to have you. Um, Glad you took the time out to join us. We are happy that there are persons who consistently come here on a Sunday evening and they join us for a conversation. And of course, every time we come, we go live. And even with our videos, we encourage you to, share your comments. We encourage you to join the live and of course, say who you are, where you're from. Express your views. As we express ours, because it's not restricted to us. You can also make your opinion be known. All right. So again, we want to say welcome to all of the time hot. Some of them and I said for Leefamily. Yeah, we're saying welcome again to all our new subscribers. So if you're here for the first time, just watching the video or what are meeting us, I'm Cornell. This is
Michelle.
Michelle. Yes, you're a couple married for over 20 years. This year we're going to make
2
22
years,
actually.
yeah.
Mm. And we started the channel just to have a conversation to share experience, and hopefully in the conversation somebody will learn something, somebody will be encouraged, somebody will hear something that was helpful to them. That is the whole sole purpose of us coming up with it. And of course, she the bad new film. She want to have a channel after she watching many YouTubers and so them, do them thing and whatever. And I thought to myself, it's a good idea. We have over 20 years of marriage, we have a lot to share. And so here we are. All right. So if you're here for the first time watching, please consider subscribing and of course like the video. All right. And tell a friend to tell a friend. Now the assignment is still on. We soon get to the topic, guys. The assignment is still on. Everyone who is a subscriber and you come and watch the videos, we're asking you to just tell two more persons or three more persons, right, who you know have not yet subscribed to our channel, and make sure them subscribe, okay? So we can have an increase in our numbers. 1,000 subscription would be perfect. Yes, because that way now we get more exposure from YouTube because the algorithm will say, oh, these guys are going with some stuff. Let's put them out there to some more persons. All right. So, guys, depending on you. And thank you again. All right. So, tonight we move on to the topic of we're saying, don't be no baby mother. And when we start off, or let us start off by saying, um, we know of mothers who are single parents. Um, I grew up with a mother. She wasn't married, but she lived with somebody, my stepfather. They eventually got married. But I know of single mothers who have nurtured their children, and their children have come out to doing well. And they have made their mother proud. They have done well. And though when you speak to single mothers in particular, because you have single fathers, but more single mothers than single fathers. When you speak with them, they'll tell you, boy, it was a challenge, it was rough, but they stuck to their rules, and they grow their children a particular way, and they tell them not to do this and tell them not to do that. And they never spare the rod and spoil the child, they let them have it. And certain guidelines were set out for them and the children, them who were the ones who behave themselves and comply. They came out to something. The others them now who unruly, want to do them want to, and we know the result of how some of those situations turn out. Right? So we're not bashing any mother now who is a single parent and she has to do what she has to do. The fact of the matter, you are already there, and you just have to do your best to grow your child the best way you can with whatever resources you have. Hopefully, you have enough. If you don't have a lot, you do have to know do what you have to do to make the best of the situation. So the topic is really going out to those who are single, those who are unmarried, those who are not yet pregnant, who have not yet had a child. We are saying to you, don't be a baby mother. And we have reasons why we are saying it. And it is not just from our Christian background, right? Because we are Christians, we believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. And sometimes I like call myself Christian because these days Christianity is comes on anybody, or anybody who wants to label himself a Christian does so. So I rather call myself a child of God. I follow the Lord Jesus Christ. I'm not perfect. Don't I'm not declaring that I've reached perfection, but I strive to please God and to do it the way He wants me to do it. So we are speaking to those who have not yet become pregnant, who don't have any children. We are saying, don't be no baby mother. And the reason for this is that when you speak to a lot of the um, single parents, single mothers, right? One of the main thing that comes out of this conversation with them is this. One, they will tell you unequivocally, well, most of them will say boy them love them picnic and them love them youth and boy the people run left and gone, but them love them child and then do right for them child and if them have to gone in bed, them person for gone in bed hungry, them picnic now gone in bed hungry and yada yada. We are saying you don't have to do that and go through that. As a lady now who is not pregnant, a young lady who is probably dating or having sex with somebody, we are saying you don't have to make that be a route. And here's why. The other reasons why I'm going to give. When you become a baby mother, it means that you are now not just a part of the statistic, yes, but you are now a, a single mother, yes, and who is now going to have to go through all the painstaking headache to grow this child or these children by yourself. 99% of the time, also, when we hear and talk with these single mothers, there's a whole, though they say they love the child, a whole heap of venom spew out to the child on behalf of the father. Yes, and sometimes the child gets a whole heap of abuse, not because the mother necessarily hate the child, but because of the father, as old people would say, boy, you smother fat fry somebody else. Sometimes the child gets a level of abuse only because the anger that is in the mother for the father. Mark you, there are times when, yeah, the mother may just come to the understanding, say, listen, it is what it is. Had a one night stand, I get caught. Um, the guy that she gave herself to, he probably was just in it for the moment, in it for the fun. And lo and behold, bam, so she's left with the bag. She's left with the baby, right? And what makes it worse, and what makes it worse, is when the mother will then come to the father or the supposed father and say to him, you are the father. And imagine now when him turn to you and say, I know me, go look for the man who breed you. I'm using Jamaican language, so go look for the man to get you pregnant. It's not me. And I'm saying all of, and there's more things that we're going to say, but I'm saying all of this to say, listen, look at how other single mothers have gone through the experience that they've gone through and learn from them. And you don't need to be a baby mother. The other thing that I have found out when with ladies who get pregnant and they they're not with the father anymore, the situation will develop when as much, and we have heard this many a times, as much as a woman will do her very best to grow up a child. When a child has both parents, that child grows up balanced. Don't get me wrong. There are parents who toil and picnic, even if they have two parents, the picnic toil, and what the end result of that is because there's no discipline that is garnered or given, the child still turn out to be whatever we see in this society, right? And so oftentimes the child come out to because of the single parent now we're talking about, the mother has to be trying to grow that child all by herself. And there are many nights, there are many days that this mother has heartache and pain because she has to be bearing the brunt of everything. The school fee, especially when the father is MIA. Yes, when daddy is not available. So the DNA, as somebody says, DNA would mean daddy not available. But especially when the father is not available, that mother, that lady has to be doing it all by herself. And we are saying, you don't reach that stage yet, you are not there, you don't have to be nobody, baby mother. You can wait and take care of yourself. And as we said, we are not promoting, as it were, fornication and whatever. But we know that we are talking to an audience that is not just Christians. So if it is that you choose to have sex with somebody, protect yourself. One of the things that I look at, and as a man, I just look and I'm just flabbergasted sometimes, right? I'm flabbergasted because in my mother's days, um, we call it contraceptives were probably few and far in between that you could get. And what one, two, those things were not even spoken of. You know, talk about contraceptive, probably in my mother days. And if you do, it was probably for those who could afford it. In this day and age in 2022, you still have young ladies who choose to have sex, still ending up getting pregnant. And there are so many forms of contraceptives out there, right? Again, we're not promoting fornication, but we are saying we understand the audience that we have. And a lot of our audience may not be Christians. So we are saying instead of you finding out afterwards that you're pregnant, why not you choose to protect yourself? Because the ultimate thing of an unprotected sexual activity is pregnancy. And then after the pregnancy, even while you're pregnant, do you know that a lot of sickness or ailment and sometimes deformity can come because of how the mother is feeling? The mother may now find herself pregnant, never want to get pregnant. She in her job have to take time off her job because she's pregnant. She have morning sickness, have the father supposedly the guy who's supposed to be the father, him not owning up to it, him not participating. Do you know that all of those emotion, when it comes down on the lady, yes, all that emotion comes on her. There are things that chemically can go wrong with her body, and it can cause the child to be either born sick or have some deformity. And that's why it's important, it is always encouraged that when a lady is pregnant, it's supposed to be like the best time of her life in terms of comfort, in terms of having support, in terms of nurturing, in terms of she getting all she needs to get, because is important that she have a mental health is good, and it's important that her physical health is good. Not to mention the spiritual, but we're not, that is a separate thing. But it's important that she is okay, because even while she is pregnant, if she has negative emotions flowing through her, she can have a sick child in birth, or a child with deformities, or the child can die, she or the child can die during childbirth. And we're saying you don't need to be anybody's baby mother. You are young, you are single, right? You choose to have sex. The most sensible thing with all the present amount of contraceptives available. There's no woman who chooses not to have a child should have a child because there's enough methods for protective sex and contraceptives out there. And the reason we're going along this time because we are saying to you, there's no need for you to now go and find yourself with a child that you never planned for. Because whether you like it or not, once a child comes forth, you will have to do your part, right? We live in a society that doesn't promote abortion. We live in a society that most mother, when they have a child, they want to bring forth that child. They want to see that baby come forth, right? They want to do their best by that child. But I'm telling you, oftentimes when you have this conversation with mothers, they can tell you that a whole heap of hatred, a whole heap of anger comes out of them, and sometimes toward the child because the father is not around, or because the father got her pregnant and he take away himself. So we are saying to you, don't be nobody baby mother. Spend time to know yourself. Spend time to grow, to come into your own. Yes. Spend time to develop yourself. Spend time to find yourself. And at this, and when you are ready, yeah, you are giving yourself an opportunity to find the right person that you and them connect, that you and them click. Now, again, we know that we don't have everybody who is watching us are Christians, right? So even even if you're not a Christian and you don't live by these principles, and we're encouraging you to, we are still saying if the guy that you're willing to give your body to is not somebody, if you don't spend the time to know the person, make sure you don't just give yourself to the person. One night stands, go party and drink and then find somebody and lo and behold, you got sex with the person because you're so intoxicated. We are saying that no make no sense. You are consciously now listening to us, and we are saying consciously decide that listener, you're not gonna be nobody baby mother. Consciously decide that when you go to a party or when you go out, you are not going to get yourself so intoxicated, so drunk, they don't know yourself, and that somebody can come and have your way with you, and before you know it, you have a baby that you don't have planned for. Yes, we are saying that there are a lot of children, yes, who grow up not knowing who their father is. There's a lot of children who grow up feeling a lot of hatred towards the man that is supposed to be their father. So you know who not pregnant yet. Don't need to know, go and do likewise. Oftentimes we walk through certain community, and even standpoint that we walk through, right? Because we have this our assembly is in standpipe,
Of course. Mhm.
right? That's where we worship, and we find even other communities where we walk through, I would see this trend that just goes on. You have ladies who have one, two, three children, and the teens who look on as if it's something that they now need to aspire to. And oftentimes when we look, we see the same thing following. One get pregnant and then she have two children and sometimes not for the same father. Here's a flip side to that. And I know I'm talking at you. If you come on, you can like the live and say who you are, indicate who you are so we can give you a shout out. Here's a flip side to that. I have spoken to a lot of men. Um, who they themselves um, confessed to me. And up to as recent as I think it was Friday, my father in particular, my father said this to me too, that I should never, and this was before I got married, my father said to me, don't have your children all over the place. Don't have them all over the place. Because when you do that, you are not going to be able to give them as much as you want. Give them of your time, give them of your resources. Yes? He said to me that if he was wiser at the time he spoke to me, because my father is now deceased, he said to me at the time, if he was wiser now, as if he was wiser then as he is now, he would have done it differently. Up to was it Saturday? Another person, a big man said to me, he told his son, don't have your children all over the place. Have one, wait. Yes, you may find somebody who you like, or you may talk to this person, and you have your discussion, and may have your talk with her, your date or whatever, and it may not work out. But don't go get pregnant with her. If you not share the one you're settle with, don't settle, don't go have, get pregnant with her. I get her pregnant. This is a big man. He himself have about three baby mother, and now he has a son who is growing up and a professional and thing. And he's saying to his son, don't do like what I have done. Now, the reason why he's saying that is because based on his experience, him say it no make no sense, you know worth it. He says that when him have to send money to three different homes, yes, him say it don't make sense. Yes. Two, if he spends time with one, he's not able to give time to the three homes or the three children that you have in separate different women. He's not able to give them the time that they require. And he's in his big man stage, he regrets what he did, how he did what he did. And now telling his son, so listen, don't do what I did. So if a man can look upon his son and say, listen, don't just go and get a girl pregnant because you see her for the first time or you like her or whatever. If he can tell his son that, imagine on the flip side how a woman or a young lady is supposed to be thinking. Yes, she has to be thinking at the same time. I'm not gonna just get this give this man a part of my life, and then before you know it, I am pregnant, and I am now left holding a child that me and him now not together growing this child, but me one left to carry the child.
Yeah, basically, you have said most of it in the beginning. But first of all, I just want to say, respect to all the ladies who end up being a single mother, whether it's that you were in a relationship or, it's just trust upon you. It's not something that you went out looking for, but it happened. Because I know that there are excellent single mother out there, so we're not trying to tear down single mothers. Basically, there are some successful people that have come from single being mother by a single parent. So, respect hat off to all of you. And yeah, and there are some that are just into situation wherein they thought that, their relationship with a significant other was gonna go somewhere. But as we all know, when a man can get up and leave and forget their kids and family do, it's not easy for the woman.
Mhm.
I think it's a natural bond that God have put in women for their children. You can get up and leave, and you have to make the best of the situation. You're cognizant of that and respect. Now, as it relates, I'm coming from the standpoint of ladies who make it their point of duty, who set out, maybe they're in a relationship and they know that, this not gonna go far, he's not too interested in me for a long-term thing. And there are ladies like this that goes out of the way to get pregnant, You understand? To say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'm gonna secure this relationship by getting pregnant for him. That is not wise. That is not smart. Because over time we have known a situation wherein ladies try that and it really don't go anywhere and they're left with the child. And then for some reason the lesson is not learned and they repeat and
Yeah.
repeat
Yeah.
and repeat the situation. Sometimes with different men, sometimes with the same man, like it's a cycle, he keeps coming back. And, it's shame on the part of the man too. But because they can get up and leave, and some of them have the audacity to say it's not their children, even when you can see the splitted image of the
Splitting image.
child
Yeah.
of them. But the lady just cannot just get up and go like that. So you're stuck with your kids. And of course, you love your kids. But one other thing we have to take into consideration and look at is that as much as women and we love our children, it takes two party to grow these children
Yeah.
in a really positive and healthy way,
Balance. Yeah.
a balanced way.
Yeah.
You understand? And some people are blessed by having uncles, and cousins who are men who will play this role within the kids' lives so the children don't really too miss out on the father figure, which is great. But we have seen in society and in a lot of the communities that we may pass through from time to time to go to church or whatever, how it affects the home negatively when the father is absent. And while these ladies deserve medals, we have to take a stock and look and say, if we, as even as black women, 'cause it happen mostly with black women, not to go towards race nor anything, but
What is facts?
it's just
It's
facts.
facts.
We need to stop and look and say, look, man, all right, say it happened to you once or yeah, twice, because you love, you say love. Try for it not to happen even a third time, because whilst you may have a handle on it and some people are good to perform pressure and routine and whatever, but think about the child. You understand? When the child even goes out in society and, rock
Yeah.
with others and they have friends,
Yeah.
and they see how, their friends are even cared for with, both parents and support. It do something to their mental state. And even if the child don't look onto their friends, as they grow, they know that something is missing.
Yeah.
Something is missing because they're not in a box and their children are intelligent. They're more intelligent than we give them credit for, and it pierces their hearts. And sometimes it causes children to grow up too fast to take on responsibility and different
And they
roles
don't get
that
to be
and
children.
they don't get to be children,
Yeah.
and then it affects them for life, and some of them become resentful. You understand? While it may build some and they're able to get over it, some even fall through the cracks to the negative statistic of being menace to society.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? On a larger scale. And with that, we need to take stock and say, you know what, we have to learn. We have to learn from each other, even within families. Because sometimes it seems like generational curse that it happened to the mother, it happened to the grandmother, it happened to the great grandmother. I know it's coming down now presently to your child. You have to nip it in the bud.
Yeah.
And I do know that there are a lot of women who try. They do try. But especially here now in modern time, as Cornel is saying, it have to become something that within you frown up on it so much that you make it your
Yeah,
goal,
man.
that you know what, this happened to me with me and my kids, and I'm bursting my back to ensure that this don't happen to them. And of course you're going to try all you can for it not to happen to them. You understand? But the reality of the situation is that in today's day where you have technology and so much knowledge and
Yeah.
even how to protect ourselves, and contraceptive is at every corner now, our pharmacies and so forth.
Yeah.
It even within many of our families, it pain our heart when you may find out that even some intelligent relatives, you understand, they'll make the mistake to say that, I get pregnant and I didn't want it. I get pregnant and it's an accident. We're looking at it from the standpoint that, and not that we're good at two shoes, but you have to make decisions, and with these decisions, it calls you to do a deliberate act.
Yes.
You understand? So get yourself equip and say, you know what?
It's starting to
All right,
me.
this not happened to me. All
Make
right.
a
Yeah, I'm
decision.
riding, and we're not promoting fornication or anything like that, but it's the reality of life, it's the reality of situation.
Yeah.
And we don't only have friends who are Christian. We have friends who are unsafe or will come across from time to time. You understand? Or even if it's not in the sense that you understand, it's not that you don't have even sometimes a positive influence on these people, but you cannot force people to come into your faith.
You can only
You
encourage.
can only encourage
Yeah.
and live. So while you come across even people like this, you care. You care and you want to say, okay, make an impact. How can I reach so and so? Because there's a better way to do it. All right. So with so much knowledge and all of that, right now, just like how you can frown upon, okay, you're gonna catch a STD. The same way in which you catch STD is the same way in which you got pregnant. So if you protect yourself consciously, if you know so boy, I'm gonna ride and die with Johnny at a party or wherever. You understand? Protect yourself. And of course, we're not endorsing.
Again, we're not saying.
We're not endorsing even
promiscuity.
Yes, and
Right.
we're not endorsing abortion. No.
Yeah.
You find yourself, even while we're speaking now, you find yourself in that situation. Nobody's telling you to go on and do away. Bring it forth. Where there's life, there's hope. Where there's hope, there's a way. But we're saying don't make the decision or be careless to put yourself in this situation. Then you are
When you are able to make
when
a
you are
decision.
able to make a
Yeah.
decision. We're not even talking about even those who are in a committed relationship. Even then it is sticky. And even that we're coming to, because if you're in a committed relationship and that man want to have a family, I would say as a woman, you married to me first before I give you children. There's no guarantee you're gonna stick around with me. There's no guarantee that after these children you're not gonna find a new or pressure model and move on with, and then I'm left with the kids. So even then you have to pay attention to your situation, read between the five prints and make a decision. But we're targeting even the young people now who, I mean, they have knowledge and information to put their fingers. You know that yes, this is your act. You're gonna go and have party. Everybody know what it is now. You understand? Because they're teaching it in schools. You know what it means to get pregnant. What do you do? And understand how to protect yourself. They're teaching it in primary schools. So you do know. So when you find yourself in such a situation like this, I would say a lady have power. They're going on to do whatever they're doing. You have your protection within your purse, so you cannot say, "Boy, it's an accident," and you have nothing.
And might I say this? You know that some you may just find that if you come down and report up some condom or whatever the case may be, he may just change brother mind, because in his mind that's the, you come for this or whatever. In other words, those little things will help you to reinforce a decision that you're making.
That you're making, and it's a smart decision, and it is power. It's showing that yes, you have a choice, and you choose to
And you're
protect
making the
yourself.
choice. Yeah.
In the heat of the moment, yes, I see you look good, you look fresh, you're talking whatever, but bam. And if they say no, and yes, some of them may have it's already. Some of them may have the audacity to say, okay, beer is for me. I can't manage that.
I don't do
Bam, bam. I see you. Who are you? What have you been up to? What on? You understand? So we're saying protect yourself. Protect yourself, because even in doing so, you protect yourself not only from being pregnant but from catching STDs and all of those things.
Yeah.
And we're not here to preach you how to live your life, but
be encouraged.
Be encouraged. These things it may very well save your life.
Yeah.
One of the things that I find
painstakingly. Don't forget what you're gonna say. Read the Cardin. Cardin said. Even Cardin. So Cardin Williamson says, totally agree. But there are some women who go away and leave the child with the man, and he ends up being a single parent. But it's rare.
And that is true. That is rare, but it is true.
But it happens.
It is really true. And even so, it should be a lesson also to the men who have the firearm to protect themselves too.
Baby father.
You understand? Choose not to be a baby father. And the funny thing is that you have a lot of young men who are conscious of the fact, and they do this.
Yes.
They protect themselves.
Especially
the responsible ones.
I know of men who say even if them go with a one night stand, the girl we go to, him now get her pregnant. Yeah. And if he realized that during the unprotected sex, something him I'll get the after morning and give it to her because she not bringing him child.
Yeah, and the men need to wise up too, because a lot of ladies now is like they're playing Monopoly. You understand? Especially when the men are in good standing. I mean, sometimes, I mean, I don't work out anymore, but I have stopped working out for a while and working in. And some stuff that I would hear that women do, especially carnival time, you have ladies who
Oh yeah, and carnival coming up.
deliberately, and with carnival maybe coming up and doubling up for last year that didn't happen. Oh, may God cover it all. But at the end of the day, you have ladies who deliberately ready up and go out there to set their traps. And then they're left with a lot of brown skin babies, a lot of pretty hair babies, and no fathers to show.
Yes.
You
Yes.
understand? And there are even sometimes like when you go to certain places, see some beautiful, cute little kids, and you know the way in which operate, and then your main choose to say who and so and so, and then all I know, is the mom. I don't know any of all the years, and I don't know any father. I know the mom and what have you.
Yeah.
And you look at it and here we go again. And there was even a time where when people I didn't used to hear it, and I don't remember which talk show, if it was Perkins, where they talk about the carnival babies. Because a lot of people used to get pregnant during carnival, and then they end up with no dad. And while you are not, the children are always precious.
Yeah.
Precious
Yeah.
kids. It's
They're
just
gifts from God.
yeah, the stupidness of the parents. Because listen, there's no way you can hold a man with a child. Because firstly, there's a lot of men who will not forsake their child or their children, but they have nothing to do with you. And then it's like some ladies just don't learn. They just go around and do the same thing and hoping that it will work. And there's some who deliberately do it for the Chechen Chen. To have a lot of paycheck coming in and don't know that these things leave and everything impact on the children. And when the stress, as you were saying, which is true, when the stress of life reaches those mom, because it's stressful, no matter how much the mom love the kids and trying their own, it's stressful. You can imagine when you have 3, 4 kids, tugging at you one, for this, for that, or just misbehaving and all of that, and you're stressing and thinking how you're going to provide those school fees, as you were saying, or whatever essential that child need and not able to do it, that mother tend to lash out.
Yes.
And some of them lash out of stress in such a way that it becomes abuse to the kids.
Yes.
It becomes abuse.
Yes.
You understand? And then they end up being sorry. You understand? And again, you're having a lot of mothers who are young mothers who are not even equipped.
16-year-old.
They're not equipped to deal with the
18.
pressures of having a child.
Come
And they're
on.
having so much of them so frequently.
Yeah.
You understand? And then they class the children when the child says, Mommy, I need so and so. So you just say you walk this poop on this and you walk this poop and you walk this poop. Listen, the child do not even ask to be in such a situation, and it pains the heart.
Yeah.
It pains the heart. And I mean, even also in the beginning of even coming up in primary school, I would think that I've got some of those lashes. Even though my mommy, she was in a relationship in the earlier part, she never married yet. But I'm not for the person that she end up married to, and it have its wear and tear. And even though my
I
mother
like that
would,
weird
yeah, it wear and tear.
tear.
My mother would apologize and what have you. And of course, I don't resent her for it because as she matures, she knows better.
Right.
And that's why I said these situations cause children to grow up really fast. And it caused me to grow up fast. And while I have no regrets, because growing in the country, you do have fun. You find a way to have fun. You have aunts, you have uncle, you have this. And as much as nobody can replace your dad, you understand there are some situations wherein it's not that bad. But everybody is not so privileged. And on the wider scale, you see these little four stripe children wherein you can't even correct them. And they can tell you how much color you're made up of because they are exposed to too much at a young age, because some of them they don't have even the proper privacy of living, so they're exposed to a lot of stuff. And we are not looking down on these people and anything, but we're saying if we could even talk about it some more, bring some more awareness that it's even cooler. It's more cooler to protect yourself.
Yeah.
It's more cooler to be knowledgeable.
Yeah.
If you even want to be the hottest thing since potty,
it is cooler.
it's cooler to be hot with the knowledge of knowing,
pregnant.
knowing who you are, what your worth is, and stop certain things, because whether we realize or not, it happens a lot in the black community. And we need to put a rock on it. We need to wise up and break out of the negative statistic and know that we're princesses and empress and queens and can do these things. You understand? What a lot of men need, you think some of the men, they even want to, go the extra mile to do certain things that they know are better for the woman. But
Yeah.
if the woman, if you don't have no standard, if you don't have a standard and you leave anything goes,
Listen,
you make it too easy for them to flip in, do the damage and flip out and
yeah,
don't even care and don't hold up to their
yeah.
responsibility.
So,
No.
so the truth. So you check the levels, and ladies, and Michelle, as Colin spoke about,
Yeah.
fathers being single fathers, and so because
Yeah,
the,
it's
the
true.
mother and the mothers, sometimes leave the child, and sometimes
Mm-hmm.
because of post trauma,
Yeah,
post pregnancy, something like that.
trauma,
There's a
yeah.
trauma, that sometimes.
Cause depression.
Right, and the woman will just leave the baby with the father and cut. And sometimes they may leave the baby because they don't want the baby, and worst of all, they don't want to leave the father,
Mhm.
so they can't leave and leave the child and the father. So hence the father become a baby father,
Baby father.
a baby daddy. Now the flip side of it, the flip side I want to bring to is this: when a man, and ladies have to be conscious of this, if a man is not willing to commit and settle with you, don't be willing to have a child for him. Because when you do have a child for him, trust me, he in himself know exactly say you now represent him. You are really a one night situation. And quite frankly, him not a problem if you just send money to you to take care of the baby, but he's not going to own you up as his
All right.
woman.
And with that being said, there's something I want to interject, which is true.
Yeah.
You know, you have ladies who are like gladiators,
Mm.
and they will decide that, you know what, I want my kids. I need my kids now, but I don't necessarily need you,
Yeah, because they're
That, I mean,
independent.
that is on you. You're independent, you can manage, you're stable, you're knowledgeable, and whatever. You have other men figure that you can bring in the child. Like, while I'm not even endorsing really, but
Because
if
it's
that's
mm,
your decision, hats
at
off to
least you
you.
made the
At least you
decision.
made a decision. You can stand by it.
Yeah.
You're able to do it.
You
You
calculate it
understand.
and make
You
the
calculate it.
decision.
You make
Yeah.
your plans. Your futures are planned out, and you know your next step. Yeah, but most of the time, that's not the situation.
Hmm.
Most of the time, there's this hyperlootedness of, I'm gonna trap him and I'll give my son. And then I try to give my son any more data you get. I'm gonna give him a son. And you keep just reproducing, and some of the men, they're so
Mm. Absurd.
self-absorbed.
Yeah.
It's like they don't even understand what it means to have a legacy of a child. You
Hmm.
understand? Because all them are thinking about going, pocket of a bone, pocket of a bone. So assess the situation,
Yeah.
you know?
So Cardine says there are a wide range of birth control out
Yeah.
there, but some women also don't believe in taking birth control. Well, if and that is
That
true.
is true too.
That is true, right? And if they refuse to take birth control, then whatever the result of their activities, it will be the
Yeah.
result.
And I know that some of the birth control, they really shake up
Side
a
effects,
woman's
right?
body, but the good old condom doesn't hurt her soul.
Hmm.
And the good old condom, most of the time, when it's being refused, because of the men, they want to travel there. They want the pleasures. But if you want the pleasure, then your pocket up it long.
Not only that,
Simple.
and be willing to
And
commit.
stand up and
Be willing
commit.
to commit.
And that is why we are on the ladies, because it's really our decision as ladies. It's our decision because it's our bodies. Whatsoever you put it in your body, you have to know what it is, how well it is for you, and how
Yes.
to protect yourself from it.
Yes.
You understand? So you cannot go around it. Of course, there's pills, and all of that. There's injection, which that's another thing all by itself. But at the end of the day,
You have
the
many
good all
choices.
affordable condom wherein there's so many health facilities now that are giving it away free.
Yes.
So there's no excuse about cost. It's being given away free. And I think that once you made a decision as a woman to be sexually active, you have to do what is necessary
To
to
protect
protect
yourself.
yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you made that decision with sex go away. It's not medicine. People may that's debatable for some people. But at the end of the day, protect yourself because the wear and tear of it all is that at the end of the day, a youth have affect.
Yeah.
And you have to go through the trouble and even the painstakingness of carrying and bearing a
What you know?
child,
What you know?
having that child.
On
And then
that
when the child says, Mia, I want to one feed on, it's you.
on that note,
And they're asking where's
I
the
have
daddy at the
I
hospital.
had the opportunity to be by my wife's side when we were having the two children. And believe you me, I'm glad I'm a man. Now imagine, and I've been there was help and so much I could do and no more. So imagine you going there, by yourself as a woman, yeah, on that bed to
Alone.
deliver alone, and no, all you have to do is just listen to the nurses and follow them instruction. And so my time, as we have said in the previous vlog, sometimes the nurses then take liberty of you because as far as I'm concerned, you're too young for pity or
In
whatever
some
the key in
hospitals.
some, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
some I say you alone going through that,
Yeah.
it's not
And
worth it.
postpartum depression,
Yeah,
again, it's not easy because it's not, some people may say, boy, the woman is strong. You have not to be strong, it is to go through that. It's about how your body and your brain and your
mental,
mental
yeah,
state deals with it.
yeah,
You have some of the most strongest women who go through that. And when you're going through that, sometimes you don't even want to see the very child.
yeah,
And they say, what kind of woman who wants to see them child? It's the mental illness of it, of being stressed and going through that comes after pregnancy.
yeah,
It's good that a lot of ladies don't go through it because they may have a good support. Even ladies who have good support go through it. So
yeah.
it's really the mental
It's a
state.
mental state.
And you can imagine you maybe have two more kids or three more kids, or they're waiting on you to come up to get back on your feet. Not only to care for the newborn.
Yes.
You understand? So it's a lot. It's a lot, ladies, and I know that God made us strong. God made women strong, but you have to choose your battle and choose your fight.
Yes.
When you can choose it, in situations where you can choose it, because in some ladies, like we said earlier, they are in committed relationships. And some of the men are sly little fox. They're
Seems.
sly. They love it when you look fresh and pumpy and green. Now that you have a little kiddo, maybe nursing and everything, and some of them can't even wait on you for the 6 weeks. They can't even wait and have compassion, like you were saying, and know what a woman just went through, and know so you have to care for her and get her back on her feet. They gone to school. They got, like I was watching on, and they have a series on it wherein it's boss ladies, and one of the lady, her son is in college, and the son have two newborn babies, and she's a millionaire, and she's taking care of the babies, and the two baby mothers are meeting up, and I'm saying, this is for
No, that
TV.
is the chaotic
Yeah,
part
I was
also.
saying it's for TV until the son decide no, have the audacity to break the agreement between the mother. The mother said, okay, I have the money. So I'm go to a school, a college that is nearby, so you can still be a part of the two little boys' life. And she will send the finances and take care of the baby mothers who are not working. And the son have the audacity to transfer to a school out of state because he can't deal with it. You understand? And when the mother spoke to him, he put a hole in the wall or the mother's home.
Okay.
And may say, he's
She
spoiled and
spoiling.
rotten.
She spoiling.
Till she end up where they have a family meeting and he has to go to counseling and whatever. She have other children, her own children. And may say, for me, this is a perfect example of spoiling him. Yes, he's a black man. You want him to go to college and all of this. But he's not even realizing what the mom is
And the
doing.
error is
And
yours.
the error, two young baby, don't miss out that two young baby, they can't walk, they can't talk, they can't do nothing yet. So while
One
basically
get pregnant.
one get pregnant maybe this week, one get sometime within the month.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a young guy. While him look good, yes, I know he's not gold. And even if he was gold, so I blame it on the young ladies.
Yeah.
No, he's not even with any of them. And the mom now have to take care, and you're disrespecting your mom on top of it.
Yeah.
So
So and
it's
so the
sticky.
but I don't know. I didn't listen to this. Is the mama is the mama single parent or she's married?
The mom, well, this is the tricky side of it. The mom is married. She divorced her husband, which is her children father. It's because of infidelity.
Oh.
But he comes back and
Reconcile.
they reconcile and marry again. And now around the table when they're having the discussion, the mom is now blaming the dad
Oh Lord.
because your son saw you,
doing this,
doing this and being unfaithful.
Yeah.
He now adapts it and not settling down and not stand up to his responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And it in all of that now, the wife best friend, which is her partner in business, after everything is being trashed out, the husband is saying no, he feels some type of way because he's not the one who is business inclined. Like the wife friend, the woman, which is her partner in business, is taking his place. I mean, so that's so childish.
That's that thing about
That is so childish. Yeah, but they're having children in these situations.
Right. So we say all of that. What sweet Carlin said. She said, if you cannot provide, protect, and nurture a child or children, then one should wait until they are ready. She's ready. Motherhood is a serious responsibility, and God will hold us accountable.
Yeah, it's true, Carlin. The thing that pain my heart,
and go ahead, Michelle, go ahead.
the thing that pain my heart is that in my mom's and our mother's day, I could understand because things was a little backward. There's a lot of stuff that was backward.
Yeah.
But even when on social media, when I see what is happening now, is like there's so much children having children.
Yes.
So much. It's nothing new about the stress and what children bring and all of these things. There's so
blessings, Mr. Mitchell. Blessings.
Good night, Mr. Mitchell. There's so much of them having children. And then I'm saying this seemed to me like a deliberate act.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a thing where it's lack of knowledge anymore or ignorance because some of them they're doing so well academically too.
Yeah.
In high school and when they're supposed now to come out and move on to the next level.
Hi Shanique.
Hi Shanique, good night and dream. They're making, and I said they are making decision to do this. They're making decision to do this. And please don't be surprised because sometimes it's not even the same young man.
Yes.
You understand? Yes. It's a different young man who is doing it. So you have to stop and look in it and say they're doing it deliberately. This cannot be buck up shots. Because say for instance, if you're a singer and you're with a man and he gets you pregnant one time because oh my god, we didn't plan it to accident because you wasn't wearing a condom. Don't beat up yourself. It happened. But you want to tell me so the second time again it's the same and the next time and the next time. No, these are decisions being made. And a lot of them are doing it to trap the men to collect the money. And then the children are left, in the rut. So it's unfair.
One other thing that is beautiful to see, and even when as Michelle mentioned about our parents' days, there were certain limitations that were in our parents' days.
Yeah.
Shanique is saying that we are more exposed to information to make more informed and educated moves.
Yeah,
right?
Basically.
This generation, and even at the late 90s coming up, a whole heap of technology, of information has come about where a woman or a man, right, can have information at their disposal that then can make proper decisions.
Yeah.
Me know right now without a doubt that enough of the man them we have 3 and 4 picnics scattered over the place would have do it differently today. Would have done it differently today because them come to themselves and say, yo, if all the money go one place, say buy one bread, you share for everybody. But if me have 3 children, go buy 3 different bread. You understand me? I say?
Sometimes it doesn't reach bread, you go in a hairstyle.
And that is the other part of it too. You understand me? I say? You can't sacrifice your life over a one night stand or even because boy about hairstyle or whatever the case may be, this man can get the ear for you or whatever the case may be. If he's not willing to commit to you, then you don't just give him
and don't try to hold him by having a child. And trust me, you're gonna have that child forever.
And even in the song them say picking a whole can't hold a man. So don't use that to say, okay, that would be something that will hold us together. Because as night Friday, if he's not into you, he's going to leave, right? And even vice versa, when a man give himself to a woman and if she and him not really serious about relationship, she can easily cut and leave the child for you, and you'll call her. So she a wicked. No, are you gonna do? You can't call her wicked. You went there too. You understand me? I say so. And one of the most beautiful things is to see when because a lot of time ladies are marginalized more than men. One of the most beautiful things is to see a lady who goes to school, focus, come out of school, get if she whether she want to college or get a job, but she stay focused and she move up the ladder until she decides, okay, I want to have a family. And because she says she wants to have a family, then no, she decides who which guy you know she wants to choose. And that is the power that lies in your hands as
And that's
ladies.
even more cool and hot. You know, even it, and the truth is not everybody wants to go to university. Let's just not
No,
go
yeah,
around
yeah,
that.
no.
University is
That
not
is,
heaven.
yeah.
But all you have to do have your ambition of what you want to do and do it well. Focus yourself and time on it. Have your little money. So you may very well meet a guy if you love him hot or not so hot, whichever way. But make sure say you have your little bambai. So
Yes.
if him decide to ship, like I saw this thing on YouTube, this boy, if you wanna go, baby, go walk. And every time I see it, me I feel laugh and like it because though I'm a Christian and I mean I sing certain song, hey, I'm
It's
all
a
down
funny
for
song.
rap. It's
It's a funny
funny.
song because I listen,
It's telling
if
you
you
to
want to
be
go, no
independent. Go
problem.
on, we're not
You won't
depend on
stop my
you.
show.
You know, stop my show.
And that you can say that when you have control,
You have control.
when you make
You
the decision
understand?
that you want to make, you're not influenced by nobody. You're not influenced because of your of how sexually aroused you are. You have to think. You have to
Yeah.
stop and think and say, do I want? I remember this, and before we'll come to our close, Charlotte. But I remember I think it was a show where like, oh yes, this is the situation. Two ladies went out to two guys, right? But one of the lady, her plan was that she and her boyfriend they're sexually active. So the other guy now is she them bring him to fear her friend. But for your friends, a total different ball game. So anyway, they told them go in the house and them separate themselves, then go so and then leave the boy with she know so the guy going with fair friend and decide saying, want to start something. So the girl stop and said, do you know me? Come on, baby, that's the least of the matter right now. I want to get some of that. You see, but what if I have a STD? What if I haven't brushed my teeth for a morning? What if I have stinky breath? And it's like the guy lister
All
said,
him want to put in.
yeah, but the guy lister said, you know what? You're sick. I walk out. And she just stayed in the room until her friend don't do what she had do. And
Yeah, she get rid of him.
she get rid of him. So that is it. When you are able to stop and think and make a decision and say certain things and think about it before the act, you probably realize that whoa, I dodged a bullet or I made a real good decision by not doing whatever. But if you don't consciously make a decision before the time come, when the time come, you may just fall in a trap
I understand.
and you end up with a child that you never really want.
You never really want.
You never
And
planned for.
some people even resent the child
They are
because
moved. Okay.
in most cases I realize I see those men who are deadbeat who have the children and disappear with them.
Yeah.
You find out that the children become a split image
Yes.
of them, and then
Yes.
you hear someone look, it's like the child cannot win, the poor
A
child.
whole heap of venom is
It's
spewed at the child. So though many of us grew up with single parents, you and I can talk and say the amount of stuff where our parents. Well, thank God, I don't. I can say this unequivocally. For me, my mother, I've never heard her say to me, "Boy, you walk this papa." The most she said, she would send me to him to collect my whatever funds. And if that time when we don't see him, he would say, we can't take him, so and so and so and so. Oh, you go manage, wait here, right? But then we go back the next week and we'll probably get it.
Honestly,
Right?
I hear a lot of them
But
from
the
my mom.
amount of
But it make love
venom,
my father more like food. Me not like it. It
the
make me
amount
love
of
my father.
venom that comes out to children based on the fact that the parents did not make it together.
Yeah,
It,
and
it,
I
it
don't
is a
have it. I
holy.
don't hold it against my mom. When I become an, I don't hold it against her because I know. she was flustered and all of
Right,
that.
right.
So there
And
are
the level of
some,
frustration was
yeah,
there.
some situations are really different. There are some persons who they make it, they fall in the trap and they make it their life goal to stay in it and to tell their story and to tell, like they get something from the story by telling it. Instead of telling the same story and say, change it,
Change the narrative.
change the narrative of everything
Yeah.
and see a better outcome.
Yeah.
You
And
understand?
so, if you have not yet gone that route, we're saying don't. Focus, decide what you want in your life, move on, and know, so, okay, I will take control of my life. If I choose to have to be with somebody intimately, it will be my
Not your
choice when
decision.
I am ready, and it will be on my what you call it, on my decision.
Conscience or
No, it's on my decision. It's on my terms, right? It's on my terms, right? So that's
yeah.
what we're saying tonight.
And even in closing, if you're listening, you come across this video and you find yourself in this situation which we're talking,
You're already
it is
there,
you're already there. It's not a dead
not a dead
sentence.
sentence.
You just have to make a change in that which you find yourself in. You make a goal, and the first thing you tell yourself is that I'll never let this happen to me again.
Yeah,
Don't make it happen to you
it
again.
stops right
Focus,
here.
yeah. Focus on your kids.
Or
Continue
kid. So
our
if you have
kid,
one, you don't need to go to two. And if you have
right?
two, you don't need to go to three.
And make them your goal to see
Focus on
that
them.
that same thing don't happen to them.
Yeah, man.
Because it's easy for people's situation to become what you say now, to become
The dominant thing in their life.
their story,
Yeah,
and then it becomes their life,
yeah.
and then it passes down to generation. You understand? There's a lot of us out here who there are certain things maybe have happened in our life, and we have made a decision that this will not be passed down to our children, and that's the motivation that pushes us to go the extra mile. You understand, even for our kids, and we're not saying that you're not doing so, but if you find yourself in such a situation, and even right now, or whenever you come up on this video and you feel discouraged and you're beating down yourself and said, why did I allow this to happen to
No, no,
me?
be
And
doing
the
yourself too
horse is
hard.
already
You
gone to the
done gone.
gate. You understand? Just look and assist yourself and say, no, yes, it happened. It's never gonna happen again. And each day you make a positive decision and step to go the opposite direction of where you're coming from. You understand? Because nobody know your life and nobody know your situation like you. So you will see what you need to do differently. And try it. And
Yeah.
focus on your child or your children and just keep it moving.
Yeah.
And that which you will find yourself in, educate your children and say, look, this is not the way, and
Focus on this.
focus
Yeah,
and
man.
steer them differently.
Yeah,
Because
man.
whether it's a generational curse or what with some of the things that happen in life, we have to make decision
And we
that
have a
it will not
choice.
continue.
Once we have breath in our bodies, we have a
Yeah,
choice.
we have a choice.
Yes, and that's what we're saying tonight.
And the easiest way is never the best way.
True. Anyway, guys, thank you for coming on. Carly,
Yeah.
thank you for coming on. Shanique, so
Shanique,
Mitchell,
Mr.
thank you guys for
Mitchell,
coming on.
thank
Those who are
you.
watching now, I never comment or I never indicate who you are. Come on, don't be shy. Say hi. All right. But until another live, until another upload, we look forward to hearing from you. We look forward to you helping us to get to more subscription. But as we're saying tonight, don't be a baby mother or a baby father. All right.
By choice.
Work by choice, you decide how you want your team to go, because you have the power to do it. All right? God bless. See you on the other side.